Well, what do we have here? Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today with an article from the Daily Signal dated December 12th. And it says more than 24. New report reveals how many informants the FBI had on January 6th. And now that I've said those magic words, probably going to see a community note or one of those wiki notes, whatever they call them on this video, but whatever. But how many times have people on the right been saying that there were FBI at January 6th, and the left was just like, nah, and oh, look, it was true, as everything tends to be. So let's go through this. It says 24 FBI confidential sources were part of the crowd outside the Capitol on January 6, 2021, and 4 of those informants illegally entered the building, according to a new report by the Department of Justice's Office of Inspector General. So have those folks been arrested too? I mean, we know that it says that they illegally entered the building, but if they're not arrested, then why are we arresting people that are just like walking around nearby that had nothing to do with it at all? It says another 13 of the 26 confidential human sources were in restricted areas around the Capitol that day as lawmakers prepared to certify the results of the 2020 presidential election, the report by the DOJ's internal watchdog found. None of the CHSs, or that means confidential human sources, who entered the Capitol or restricted area has been prosecuted today. Well, there's the answer to that question, says the report from the Inspector General Michael Horowitz says the WFO, which is the FBI's Washington field office, did not know that a total of 26 CHSs would be in D.C. for the events of January 6th because only 4 field offices had informed the WFO or FBI headquarters that CHSs under the relevant field office's jurisdiction, that's 5 CHSs in total, would be traveling to D.C. on January 6th. So I love how it's like the left hand isn't talking to the right hand in this. Like they're thinking something's going to happen. Nothing was going to happen, but FBI agents just went there anyway to do things. It says the electoral certification of Joe Biden's win over incumbent Donald Trump in the presidential race was delayed. Why does it say? Oh, I was talking about 2020. I was like, wait, right now? I was like, hold on a minute. Anyway, yeah, I was wrong about that. I read that wrong. So I'll start over. It says the electoral certification of Joe Biden's win over incumbent Donald Trump in the presidential race was delayed by the January 6th protests when a mob breached the Capitol. As a result, the Justice Department has prosecuted nearly 1,500 defendants, almost all of whom were charged either with illegally entering the Capitol or entering a restricted area around the Capitol. The Justice Department has said it charged over 500 with assault, resisting arrest, or impeding police officers. I mean, we're going to find out next probably that the police officers started the antagonism that led to the riot. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. So just wait for that. So probably just need to wait until January 20th for that to come out or sometime after that. It says we determined that of the 26 CHSs who were in D.C. on January 6th in connection with the events of January 6th, 4 entered the Capitol during the riot. An additional 13 entered the restricted area around the Capitol, which was a security perimeter established in preparation for the January 6th electoral certification, and 9 neither entered a restricted area nor entered the Capitol or otherwise engaged in illegal activity, the DOJ Inspector General's report says. The IG report comes one day after FBI Director Christopher Wray announced he will resign before President-elect Trump takes office on January 20th. It says members of Congress have raised questions about the roles played by the FBI informants leading up to the breach of the Capitol on January 6, 2021, by some of the protesters who walked there after hearing Trump speak on the ellipse south of the White House. As Marcus Allen, not the NBA, Jesus Christ, man, I'm losing it. The former NFL running back says, but he's an FBI employee who raised questions about FBI informants at the Capitol that day was suspended without pay. As the report from Horowitz released Thursday also says that only 3 of the 26 confidential human sources were authorized by the FBI's Washington field office to attend the January 6th protest. And I mean, I can understand like them having like a few people there like that, like 3. But when it's like 26 and they didn't know that almost all of them were there, like, come on. It says, in addition to these 3 CHSs, we found that 23 other FBI CHSs were in D.C. on January 6th in connection with the events planned for January 6th, the report says. None of these FBI CHSs were authorized to enter the Capitol or restricted area or to otherwise break the law on January 6th, nor was any CHS directed by the FBI to encourage others to commit illegal acts on January 6th. Says the Office of Inspector General recommended that, in the future, the FBI clearly define a mechanism for making a formal determination whether and what kind of nationwide intelligence and CHS canvas is necessary and appropriate under FBI policies, and provide sufficient guidance to ensure that relevant intelligence can be timely shared among the relevant FBI components and with non-FBI stakeholders. And says the IG's office announced later in 2021 that it would begin the investigation, but Horowitz said his office paused the probe pending the Justice Department's ongoing criminal investigations. He said his office reinstated the probe last year. Okay. Says, and the FBI did not respond to an inquiry from the Daily Signal for this story. I'm not surprised, and I believe this is the actual report itself. If you wanted to go ahead and read it, you certainly can. The article is linked below, but does this come as a surprise to anybody? I mean, again, I'm not surprised even a little bit that this is going on, that they had people there. Ray Epps, anybody? So what do you think about this? I mean, does this change your thoughts about January 6th and what it was, or what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.